Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Box Office Talk. This is the show where I break down what happened at the box office, see if my predictions for the top 5 are correct, and then make predictions for next week's top 5, so let's get right on into it. Last week I predicted that number 1 would be Avengers Infinity War, number 2 would be Life of the Party, number 3 would be Breaking In, number 4 would be Overboard, and number 5 would be A Quiet Place. And I got all 5 of my predictions right this weekend. Maybe it's that Mother's Day weekend luck that got me a number 5, or maybe it's just because it was a little easy to guess. I actually wasn't so sure if I was going to get a 5 out of 5 because the new releases for this weekend were a little different than each other, so a little harder to predict, but I got all 5, so I'm not complaining. Number 1 was, once again, Avengers Infinity War, making $61 million this weekend, only dropping about 40% this weekend as opposed to last week's 50%, which is very good for this film, adding up to a domestic total of $547 million, and on the worldwide chart it is sitting at $1.607 billion, which is actually... This finally makes it the highest grossing superhero film worldwide ever. Domestically, it still has a ways to go. It has to top Black Panther still, but worldwide, it is already there, and that is phenomenal for this film. I'm glad that this film is making such an impact the way it is, because it's only proving that the Marvel experiment that the MCU has been doing here has really pulled off, and I couldn't be happier, because this is also just a good film in general. And number 2, we have Life of the Party, making $18 million. It still has a ways to go to get its initial production budget of $30 million back, but if you want to double that and have it be considered a success, it needs to make around $60 million. And I think the added total of domestic and worldwide will be able to get it there. I don't think it'll be a huge hit for Melissa McCarthy, but it will be a hit. It'll at least get that production budget back, even though it looks like the same old typical Melissa McCarthy movie. There are people out there that like that kind of stuff. So moving on to number 3, we have Breaking In, making $16 million on a budget of $6 million. So it's already doubled its budget and made $4 million over that, about to triple that if it makes $2 million more. And that is very good for this film. I haven't seen it yet. It looked like a generic kind of thriller film from Screen Gems again, but whatever. It was a Mother's Day themed movie. It came out on Mother's Day because a mother is trying to save her kids, and that's probably why it got so much this weekend. I bet you if it came out some other weekend, it probably wouldn't have made as much, but since it was a Mother's Day one, oh, we should go see that, you know? Moving on to number 4, we have Overboard, making $10 million, adding to a domestic total of $29 million. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't last weekend it only made $14 million, and it only dropped to $10 million? That's actually a pretty good holdover if that's the case, but that adds to a domestic total of $29 million, which is doubling its $12 million budget, and on the worldwide chart it is sitting at $41 million. So Overboard is actually doing a little bit better than I anticipated, at least with that holdover at least. So that's pretty cool. I mean, the movie still looks pretty bad, and I haven't seen it yet, so I can't really say, but good job, Anna Faris. Moving on to number 5, we have A Quiet Place, making $6 million, adding to a domestic total of $169 million, getting about $31 million more away to get to $200 million domestically. I hope it gets there. Honestly, I really hope it gets there. I'd like to see that happen before it leaves. The slim chances are there, but I just like to see that because I love this movie so much. On the worldwide chart, it is sitting at $269 million, so also another $31 million to get to $300 million worldwide. Seeing both of those things happen would be just amazing. Number 6, we have I Feel Pretty, making $3.7 million, adding to a domestic total of $43 million. So it got past its initial production budget of $32, and now it just needs to inch a little closer to $64 million, and it's $21 million away from that so far. But I'm thinking that we're going to see less and less of this film in the next coming weeks. I don't think we're going to be able to see it get past its doubling point. Sorry, Amy Schumer and Bill Maher. Because Bill Maher really loves this movie, in case you didn't know. Moving on to number 7, we have Rampage, making $3.3 million, adding to a domestic total of $89 million, and on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at $397. So $3 million away from getting to $400 million worldwide, which is very good, like I said before. It's still $11 million from getting to $100 million domestically, and that would look pretty good for this film if it was able to do that, but still, it's already doubled its budget, and it's already made a profit, so if they want to make another one and bring everyone back for round 2, then they could still do that. They have the money, clearly. Number 8, we have Tully, making $2 million, adding to a domestic total of $6 million. So cool that more people are going out to see it, even if it is small numbers. I still haven't gotten a theater here that is playing Tully, so that kind of sucks. I still don't know what the budget is either. I would really like to know if these low numbers are good for a low budget, or if it's actually a little more higher budgeted than expected. Moving on to number 9, we have Black Panther, and I really do feel like this is the last weekend we're going to see it here. I honestly do feel like that, because we have 3 movies coming out next weekend, and even though 2 of them I'm not sure how well those are going to do, I think that's enough to push this film out. So I'm going to give it a solid goodbye here, making $1.9 million this weekend, adding to a domestic total of $696 million. It was only $4 million away from getting to $700 million in this top 10. I'm pretty sure it'll be able to do that out of the top 10, though. And on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at $1.342 billion. So Black Panther, if this truly is your last time here, I salute you. You broke a lot of frickin' records, and that's pretty phenomenal if you ask me. Closing out this top 10, we have RBG, movie I've never heard of with no listed budget anywhere. It made $1.1 million this weekend. And yeah, now it's time for the fun part, the predictions for next week's top 5. Now, I'm going to predict number 1 is Deadpool 2, because that's obvious. Number 2, Avengers Infinity War. Number 3, Life of the Party. And here's some very risky predictions from me. I'm going to put number 4, Show Dogs. I think this movie will make around the same money 9 Lives did on its opening weekend, which is around like 6 million. So I guess around there. And number 5, I'm actually going to put in Book Club, because I think the numbers will be low enough for it to squeak in there, but I don't think it'll be like a huge thing, because I don't know how many people have heard of it. So yeah, those are my predictions. But what about your predictions? Leave those in the comments below. And if you got your predictions right for this week, you're going to get a shout out right now. Unless you didn't get it right, then I'm sorry. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.